kings of the desert, masters of knowledge, and guardians of monotheism. Those are all titles regarding the Arabian people during a long period of time. Being Arab, I cannot help but look back at history and be overwhelmed with pride. However, I'm afraid that what I'm about to say is far from positive. I speak today of my utmost sadness regarding what is known as modern-day Arabs. People so obsessed with Western ideals and modern innovations that it makes their minds work as if they were paper shredders, tearing every single significance to Arabian cultures and traditions. We shouldn't blow our own horns, but during a time when the world was chaotic and at a standstill, the Arabian Islamic world witnessed what was known as the Golden Age, an age that saw the likes of Al-Khwarizmi invent algebra, a subject taught in institutions all around the world today. The Golden Age also saw an Arab doctor perform the first successful eye surgical procedure. For God's sake, Abraham, Moses, Jesus Christ, and Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, were all born in the Middle East, making our lands holy. This is not to gloat, nor to show off, but rather this is to show that we are capable. We are capable of reaching our full potential. But unfortunately, we are now at the trough. A main issue is definitely modernization. Now listen to me closely. I am not against the development of man in any way. I am far from those who claim that the development of mankind towards a better future is nothing but mind-polluting and sinful. However, I am against those who use modernization as an excuse to lose the Arabian identity. Those who believe that the West is better at almost everything. These are the same people that do not even know how to speak Arabic properly, as they resort to speaking English constantly. I admit I am no Taha Hussein myself. However, I try my best to stick with the language that my ancestors and my people were raised on. Most of these so-called modernized Arabs do not even take the initiative to learn or improve their own language. And why is that? Well, unfortunately, there's a misconception that Arabic is somewhat vulgar compared to English. Even the very fact that I am giving a declamation about this in English is a complete and utter joke. Let's see, a quick show of hands. Who here has more Arabian songs on their mobiles or iPods than English songs? Thought so. Same goes for me, I must admit. It just goes to show how far we have declined. Not just because of the songs, but because of the misconceptions, the loss of pride in who we are. We were at the time seen as the pinnacle of human civilization, and now we pity ourselves. Where have our attempts at modernization gotten us? A paralyzed production rate, a crippled economy, or a region with a plethora of conflicts? Take your pick. Mrs. Margaret Thatcher, the first female British Prime Minister, once said something that defines the modern-day Arab perfectly. She said, "It used to be about trying to do something. Now, it's only about trying to be someone." On February 7th, 2012, I was handed the biggest shock of all. Nobody seemed to remember that it was the 13th year anniversary of the death of His Majesty, King Hussein, may God bless his soul. The longest serving Jordanian king and descendant of Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. A couple of friends and I had to go around reminding Jordanians. How sad is that? What's even worse is that everyone seemed to remember the weekend activities and thought it was more worthy to mention in a school meeting. If we have forgotten to remember a man idolized by not only Jordan, but the whole world, a man that truly epitomized what a king should be, the very man that is the reason we are all now safe in this country. If we have forgotten that man, then I ask you, what have we become? On the day the school mentioned the death of 22 12-year-old school children, may God bless their souls, in a bus accident in Switzerland during school meeting, 17 7-year-old school children were murdered in Jericho by Israeli soldiers, and that wasn't even brought up. Our brothers in Iraq and Palestine are getting killed every single day, living in terror, scarred for life. What's interesting is that nobody hesitated in posting about Kony 2012 on various social networks. Yet most of these Arabs have probably never posted statuses or photos on Iraq or Palestine. Strangers have knocked down our doors, killed our children, and stereotyped our religions. Yet we cower and run away in fear, with our tails between our legs. I repeat my question. What have we become? The Arab Spring, deemed by many as the birth of justice and democracy in the Middle East, the power returning to the people by overthrowing vicious dictators, was unfortunately criticized by many as being a big irrational mistake, causing more problems, knocking people down, leaving them without leadership. My answer to these critics is that a man should be encouraged to stand on his own 2 feet. Yes, we help people. Of course we help people. But for those who can't do, they must just do. They shouldn't just whine about things. They should get in there and do something about it. Change things. And that is exactly what the Arab Spring did. I am neither a pessimist nor an optimist. I prefer to be regarded as somewhat of a realist. I promise to do all within my power to help my fellow Arab. However, if I'm to be honest, if there is no complete cooperation between every single Arabian man, woman, and child, then we are going to decline to the point of no return. Miss Tessa once said something in my world religions class that inspired me. She said, we cannot accept bad realities. I'd like you all to please repeat after me. We cannot accept bad realities. 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 The Middle East is covered with gasoline, and we hold the match. Do we choose to blow it out or drop it? I have asked you throughout my speech, what have we become? But I leave you now with a different question, ladies and gentlemen. What are we going to become? Thank you.